Right, people, this is my statement for the family court. Statement of first respondent, Rebecca Cooper. Because Acacia May Vines is one for being acted through the grandparents. Obviously, there was, during the process, there was me, there was Simon, there was social services, and Simon, yeah, basically. I'm going to be careful not to show you the address again, because it does state the address. So let's move this up slowly. No, authority. I am, it says, yeah, that's fine. That's good. I don't show you the address. I am the mother of Acacia May Vines, born on the 4th of February 2016. I live with my partner Simon Vines, who is Acacia's father, at the above address. I have signed a document responding to the statement of facts filed by the local authority in connection with their application regarding our daughter. Now let me just go to turn the page. Obviously, I have to be very careful not to show you the address again. Although I would like to be able to care for Acacia, it says, although I would like to be able to care for Acacia, Simon and I have discussed this, and I accept that I could not care for her on my own, and Simon feels unable to give up work and care for me and Acacia. I suffer from Asperger's syndrome. I suffer from Asperger's syndrome, and my first child, Bailey Cooper. See, I had to tell the official courts this, so I couldn't lie. There is no lie. There is a son. Syndrome. And my first child, Bailey Cooper, lives with my mother and her partner, Keith Rouse, under a residency order, which he does, very truthful. Obviously, this is all official documents and official things, because social services actually went to my mum and stepdad's and saw my son. Although I have a long history of criminal convictions, I believe that my conduct has improved since my relationship with Simon. Although at the beginning of such relationship there were difficulties which resulted in some domestic violence. There were difficulties which resulted in some domestic violence. I have recently been receiving some external support, which is helping me with some tasks such as cooking basic meals. When I was discharged from hospital, I went to live with my mother and her partner. But there was a breakdown in that relationship. Basically, this is going to be very disturbing for you to hear, but basically they had to ring the police and throw me out, because I basically had a disagreement and a severe argument with them, because I wanted to breastfeed Acacia and do nothing else but breastfeeding. And they basically, me and them had a massive bust up and fallout over that, under which, when I was extremely angry and heated and I'd lost control of my temper, and I'd really lost my temper and I was extremely raging and angry, I threatened to hit my son, basically. And because I threatened to hit my son, they had to ring the police and get me removed, basically. So when the health visitor came again, I wasn't present because I'd been thrown out by the police, and they took me to where my partner was living. Basically, the police had to take me to my partner's because there was no way I could stay there, because I'd threatened to hit my son, because I'd completely lost control of my temper and really lost it over them not wanting me to breastfeed Acacia permanently. But that's just being completely honest. That should never have happened. It is disgusting, and I look back on it with a lot of remorse and a lot of regret for what happened back then. Because they would have probably let me live with them. My mum and stepdad would have let me live with them again if I'd have behaved and been a decent, civilised human being, and I'd have behaved. But no, I had to go and fuck it up and mess it up again. I went to live with my mother and her partner, but there was a breakdown in that relationship. That's just them putting it nicely. And I left to move back with Simon. We have recently left the property we were living in and now reside in a 2-bedroom privately rented property. I accept in all the circumstances that the best place for Acacia to live is with my mother and her partner, although I understand that there are issues to be resolved under what type of order this should be. I want to have regular contact with Acacia, and under a recent arrangement, I meet my mother on a Saturday morning. This was all the way back in 2016. I very rarely see my mum now. When I have contact with Bailey, when I have contact with Bailey, I know that it would not be practical for Simon and myself to have contact at my mother's home, particularly because of the strained relationship between Simon and Keith, because Simon hates Keith very much. I believe that the facts stated in the statement are true and that it may be placed before the court. Yeah, basically. So that's like, people now know that I wasn't bullshitting. I wasn't talking shite. I was being genuine. But obviously now you know that that's the case. But yeah, okay, people, I'm going to go now. Bye.